Hello and welcome to Mags and Tillison. This week we are going to talk about our old Iron Head frames, and we're going to identify what month and year that our old Iron Head frames were actually manufactured. Okay, what you want to do here is go on the right side of your frame and look underneath your seat boss. And on my particular bike you see a D and you see a 0. Okay, D represents the 4th month of the year. Okay, and then the 0 represents 1970. So you got A, B, C, D, which is April, and you have 0, which is 1970. Okay, let's say you had a frame and it was marked E6. E is the 5th letter in the alphabet, which is going to represent May, and that's the 5th month of the year. And the 6 means that it was made in 1966. It's as simple as that. Now I'm going to concentrate on 1970 down to about 1960 Sportsters. And there's a lot of different changes in all these frames throughout the years as well. I mean, not a lot of big changes, but there are a bunch of changes. So each year has its own little quirks here and there. Now to further identify my 1970 frame, 1970 actually, to 1972 had a hole drilled behind the neck, and that was to accommodate the big wiring harness that was routed internally right down the backbone of the frame, and that wiring harness would then exit right into the voltage regulator. And here's a shot of the lower fork cover, and that says XLH. These are hard to find. You can't find these a lot. You see a lot of XLCHs, but not these. Now also 1970 was the first year of the Sportster to put the serial number on the right hand side of the crankcase, which is directly under the front cylinder. Also in 1970, the first year that they were required to put the engine serial number stamped on a boss on the right side of the frame as well. So the motor serial number and the frame serial number were then a matched set. And that was required by law at that time, so that's why Harley Davidson did it like that. Okay, let's go over to my 1968 Sportster XLCH and we'll look at this one. Right underneath the seat boss, you're going to see a B8. Okay, B, which is the 2nd month of the year, and 8, which is 1968. So this frame was made down in February 1968. And let's say you had a frame that read C0. Okay, that means the C means that's the 3rd month of the year, which is March, and the 0 simply means 1960. Let's look at the right down tube of my 1968 Sportster. Now there's no boss here that reads any engine serial number because it was not required at that time. But on my particular bike, it's a bone stock 1968. It has an original 12,000 miles on it, and right below the neck here you read H3917. Now I know that H means Harley Davidson. However, I don't know what the 3917 means. I have no idea. So if some of you guys have maybe a 68, 69, or maybe a 63 or 4, and I would like to know if you guys have that same thing on your neck of your frame as well, where it's got a grounded flat there with some serial number on it that starts with H. I would like to know what that actually means, because I have no idea at all. But like I said, pre-1969, they were not required to put a serial number that would match the engine on the frame. So the engines at that time had the motor serial number stamped on the left-hand crankcase, and that's all they required at that time. So the frame serial number and the motor serial number didn't have to match. And here I am with the B8 mark on my boss on the underneath the seat boss of my 1968 Sportster. You know, B8. That's February 1968. Now I know we can go on and on about all the stampings and all the serial numbers on your motor and your frame throughout the years, but I simply wanted to just keep it simple and keep it easy to understand what kind of markings that you have. And this can help you out in case you have any doubts if your engine and your frame match years. And that's all you have to do. So I simply wanted to make this nice and easy. As you can see here, I have an all original 12,000 mile 1968 Sportster XLCH, and all the right numbers and stamps are on the motor and on the frame and all that. So I can look at this bike and I can cross-reference all the stampings and all the numbers on this bike, because I know it's an untouched motorcycle. It's never been messed with before. And this is how it just left the Harley-Davidson factory floor. So I can verify a lot of things on this bike. Now I love reading all the comments, so I wish you guys would kind of chime in, and if you have some information and you want to share it, that would be fantastic. So go ahead and leave some comments down there. I always love to read them, and I always love to learn new things from all you guys. So go ahead and drop a comment down there. I hope some of this information helps you guys, and I want to thank you again for watching Mags and Tillison. And I would really appreciate if you subscribe and like. That would really help out the channel. So until then, guys, you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.